at that. Got the tentacles on him. That is one wicked creature. Absolute awesome. Look at that. Mini kraken. Got a triggerfish. Wicked. That's his first trigger as well. Oh, triple shot. That's been in the water for probably 2 minutes, if that. Well, welcome back, guys. As you can probably tell, we're on the big beach down here at Chesil. Just set up with me and my dad today. Well, I just set up, got a rod out there straight away. Before I'd even have a chance to get my other rod out the rod bag. I had a decent bite. And I had a cracking bream. Check that out for first cast. Lovely fish. I was on the ragworm with the yellow pop-up. And in the middle hook, well, on the middle hook, I had, look at that, monster. Little pouting. That's not a bad way to start the day, look. Cracking black bream. Well, I'm gagging to get that rod back out there. So I'm gonna get other rods out there now, get my base cam set for the day. And I think we're in for a good session by the start, so I'll catch you in a bit. My dad's into a fish on his first cast as well. Just turned the camera off and he had a nice bite. Let's see what he's got, just coming in close now. On the species hunt today, guys. Lovely red. Nice one, that.
Nice little gurnard.
A mackerel.
Mackerel, yeah.
Happy days.
There's another just cast out.
My dad's on fire, look. His first session back in months, and he's back in the fish. Nice double shot of bream. I'm sure a lot of you may have seen and know now this time of year, coming like end of September, October time, it's great for the squid fishing. I've never done it before, never caught one. I've caught cuttles down here where they've just grabbed my bait and I've managed to hook one. But I've bought some squid jigs. Lovely little pink squid jig, look. Like I said, I've never done it before. I just got my HTO Tempest. My dad's with another cracking bream. That's a lovely one. He's on the ball now. Let's show on camera. Look at that for a bream. It's a much better one, that. Lovely one. Cracker. About a pound, isn't it? It's quite a chunky one.
Mackerel.
There we go, look. Another bream. Looks like my dad's into the better stamp of fish. And I'll just keep these little ones entertained. He's into a better fish now. I literally just cast that out there after that bream. He's into a much better fish by the looks of it. Maybe a codlin. Or an even bigger bream. He's kicking my ass already. Ain't even been here long. He does that. What is it? I think it's 2 bream. Oh, it's trigger. Got a trigger fish. Wicked. That's his first trigger as well. Oh, triple shot. That's been in the water for probably 2 minutes, if that.
First trigger.
His first ever trigger fish. So I'll get up there now and I'll give a better look at him. Check that out.
My first trigger.
That's a cracker as well,
Happy with that. It's
Lovely
a cracking
one.
fish, look at him. That's a lovely fish.
Yeah, it's mental that. Well, obviously you can't pull the trigger because you can't put, so you, if you, obviously the taller trigger, you can't actually push it down. And the little spike there, push that and it all goes down together. Obviously if when a bigger fish grabs them, obviously that just puts them off in.
You can feel the power on when you get the bite, can't you, straight away.
Powerful fish. That's a lovely one. It's about £2, £2.5.
Very happy with that, my first one.
First ever trigger.
Thank you.
Wicked.
Great.
That was about that, guys. Lovely double shot. 2 lovely black bream, both on the ragworm bait. There we go, only fishing about 30 yards out. And some lovely bream fishing. Let's try and get a bigger one. Like I said, we're not fishing that far, so just a gentle lob. There's a tide line out there and we're just fishing just on the other side of that. Not too far. Been finding the further I'm fishing today, the more the pouting I'm getting. Obviously, we don't want pouting. I want a nice bream and triggers. Who wants to catch pouting all day? Not me. Well, guys, my dad just reeled in a pouting, look. And there's a hole in the top of his head, I don't know if you can make that out. But that, for any of you who don't know, is a cuttle or a squid, where they grab it and that's the beak in the tentacles, and they basically just take a bite out of the fish to kill it. So I thought, get my squid jigs. I had a little go, nothing, because I couldn't really get far enough with the spinning rod. So I made basically a 2-hook flapper on my beach caster. Second cast, I've really got me a squid, look. A lot of you probably don't really get excited by this because you get it so often down south, but that is the first squid I've ever caught. And I couldn't be more buzzing with that. That's made my day. Look at that. Got the tentacles on him. That is one wicked creature. Absolute awesome. Look at that. Mini kraken. Let's get that squid jig out. That was on a, it was white until obviously got his the ink all over it. And the top one, it's like a red mullet colour, which I know would work well because obviously there's red mullet down here, and it's almost a bit more like a pouty sort of darkish colour. Let's check that out, guys. I am absolutely buzzing with that. My first ever squid. Those tentacles. What a crazy, crazy creature. Well, that is going to make some wicked food. And I'm going to basically get these straight back out there. My dad's just making a flapper up now to have another go. Check that out, guys. God, that's a squiddy. Not a bad one as well. And I seen one off down here about a week ago, and it probably about 3-4 pounds. It was huge. But I am more than happy with a squid that size. Right, let's get it back out there. See if we can get another one. Right, so before I start having another go for a squid or cuttle, I'll just show you the setup I'm using. Obviously, it's a proper butcher way of fishing for them. If I was all out just targeting them, I would not fish like this. I'd fish a lot lighter with a spinning rod. This is all I got, so it's all I got to use. I literally just made up, like I just said, I'm basically a 2-hook flapper, nothing overcomplicated. I use the, I always keep some of these in my box, is some of the Tronics crimp swivels. You can see there. These are always really useful to have in your box, because if you wanted to quickly make something up like I just have, it just gets them done quick. I'm just fishing 2 short hook links in, two squid jigs. I just put 2 different colours on there just to see what colour they fancy, and then onto your lead. I've only got 7-ounce lead, so like I said though, this is a proper butcher way of fishing from. I would never do this if I was just all out targeting them. But this has got to be made. Alright, that'll do. Let's cast it out there. Don't need to be casting very far from what I've heard, but flick it out there though. Sink obviously, get it right down to the bottom. What's my dad got? Oh, dead lines by the looks of it. So basically when you're fishing with a spinning rods with them, just a single squid jig or two, like I said before, I've never done this before, so I could be saying some of the wrong stuff, but from what I've heard of other people, you literally just got to keep twitching your rod to obviously keep your squid jig twitching. Like a lot of them are imitations of prawns really, from what you can look at the different patterns in them and the jigs. So I literally just got a week there. I think I got one. I might have another one on here. Didn't even have a chance to do anything. I think I got one. It's feeling the exact same as the last one did. It's going to be a really steady retrieve. Real steady. I don't think they'll come off, but with the fast retrieves with the multipliers, you've got to take your time. It's coming in like the leader's up. Have we got one? Yeah, we have. Got one. Got another one. Look at that, guys. Oh, you don't know how buzzing I am. That has made my day. Check it out. Look at that. That is one crazy, crazy creature. You can see there, whereas obviously, I don't know if I can see the beak. No, you can't see the beak there. I don't want to get bit by him. But check it out. We're squid fishing down here on Chesil, guys. Forget the bream, I'm into the squid now. Squid games. Look at him. You're gonna squirt ink at the camera. Greasy guy. That is sick. Like I said, these are not going back. They're not going for bait. These are going for the dinner plate. I rhymed then. I'm going to get them in the cooler box now and run straight back down and have another cast. I'm loving this. Right up my street. If any of you that haven't, I use 3 clip downs with about 16-inch hook links down to size 4 hooks, and I put pop-ups on most of my rigs, a few different types. These are some of the Tronics ones, are red and yellow ones, or you can also use let me find one. There we are. There's some of the Tronics ones there. They basically come on like a float stop system, where you just put your hook link through and then pull it on, and they just hold themselves in one position, and you can just slide them up and down your snood to, obviously depending on the size of your bait. On this one, they're just 3 spinning ones, and then I use some power gum then just above it to create like a bait stop. Just 3 hooks on there, going on to a 7-ounce lead. I do need to get a set of Contis really, because there's, oh, is that bite then? You know, a little rattle then. But Contis are probably a bit more nice to fish with than the heavier beach rods. Just finding the right set. I'm not a massive fan of Contis, but for this kind of fishing, they're spot on, I think. Bait wise then for today, we have good old ragworm. Got some dug rag there. Picked some of that up yesterday after work. And then also we have some good old live crab, peeler crabs, because they're really, I wouldn't like to come down without them, because I find when their triggers are in, trigger fish love crab, and if they're caught around, codling love crab. And then also we have got some fresh blow lug that my dad went and dug the other day for today specifically. Some lovely worm though, Barry, some lovely stuff, and some white rag in amongst it as well. And then last but not least, we have also got some frozen mackerel, because you can't fish Chesil without some mackerel. We haven't caught any today, which is probably one of my first times this time of year where I haven't caught any mackerel. So I'm glad they got frozen now. But let's bait it up anyway. Let's get a lug on one of the hooks. I'll go with 2 lug because put some 2 smaller ones on. What you'll find with blow lug or just any worm baits generally for smaller hooks where they're a bit more, you know, like a delicate presentation, a needle, baiting needle is quite important because it just gets a much more neater finish. So you slide that lug up onto there. I'm gonna go big and put 2 on. Go for that big cod, a big unicorn fish. So there's 2 slid up there now. And then I get my hook, and then so one end you got a point that you use to slide your worm on, and the other end you're about to see there's a little hole. So you put your hook in the hole there, pull your hook link tight, and literally just slide it all on. It's a bit tight that. And then that just strip them tails off. And that is a lovely bait. Perfect lug bait. And then the next one we'll go with some crab. I don't think I've caught anything on crab yet today, but I like to have it on there just in case. One of them codling go past and onto a bit of crab. Same as normal, obviously, just peel that crab down, get as much shell off as possible. Get that all off there. Get our top shell off. You don't have to, but sometimes I get the gills out. I always take the gills out if I'm freezing it down, because they just last a lot longer in the freezer. And then I just literally just basically cut about 3/4. If we look at the crab up, about 3/4 up, so you just basically split open. And then I'm using one of these Tronics baiting needles, whereas basically got the wire comes up, loops back round on itself, and there's like a hook. So you just, well, that's the way I do it anyway. I just slide it up, slide the crab up there, and then look for my elastic that I've lost. Obviously buried in the shingle. There we are, under the rag. And elasticate that on a bit, and then I hook it through like so, and then use that hook at the top of the needle to hold that hook. Obviously your main hook, and then elasticate that all down. What you'll find as well with fish like bream and triggers, they're quite snappy feeders, so I try not to leave too many like hanging bits off your bait, if that makes sense, because the more time they spend messing around with those little bits on your bait, the more chance they have to rip your bait off or rip it apart. So you want it obviously streamlined and nothing sort of hanging off of it. Obviously it's going to cast better being streamlined, but obviously when that fish is trying to get in its mouth, it's just going to fit a lot better and got a much better chance of hooking it up quicker. So that's the crab bait there. And then what else should we go with? Let's go with a bit of mackerel. Go that the little strip of the white, the belly beat, the belly bit. Mess my words up now. And same again with that needle. I just slide it on. I'll bung my hook in it first before I put any elastic. Slide that up there. And I'll skate that down. One thing I will mention actually is if any of you have watched my last video when I was on witches and I mentioned that I was going away to Cyprus for a week and I said I was going to try and do some fishing. I did, but basically, whenever any of you don't know, we are Cypriot, so we've been like going over there virtually every year since I was a kid, seeing family and all that kind of stuff. And I've always snorkeled and that from a young age, and I've always like noticed our fish just declining every year. So it's just so heavily fished out there, commercially and just pleasure anglers, and everything, and I mean everything, is killed. So they don't have a chance to sort of restock themselves, the fish. Actually, basically, if it fits on a hook, it fits in your dinner plate kind of feeling out there. And then they all whinge and there's no fish. So kind of do it to yourself really, I suppose. And also a lot of people say out there, a lot of the fishing guys, so obviously with Cyprus, it's pretty much right at the back of the Mediterranean Sea. So any migratory fish that do get targeted commercially, there's so many chances for them to get nailed before they get to Cyprus. So they don't get so many migratory fish because of that as well. But they don't help themselves because there's no size limits or anything out there. So they just kill everything. So yeah, that's why I didn't do a video. I went fishing once. Me and my dad had a few little tiny groupery looking things and little bream fish, whatever. But it was rubbish, and it was so hot where you just sat on this little pontoon catching these little fish in 30 degrees, sweating out, thinking, what's the point? So I didn't bother doing one. But anyway, back to the proper fishing. There's my next 2 baits ready to go: mackerel, crab, and blowlug. Let's cast that out there and see what we can find. Double shot of
nice
bream.
double shot of bream, look.
Got greedy and hooked himself twice. Look.
One lug or one on rag. They're lovely fish, aren't they?
Yeah. Let me unhook them for you.
Thank you.
Put them in my pocket. Whoa, he's kicking.
Thank you.
Breamer on the feed. Hope we get a few more now. Let's get them back. Send them home. Woo. I'm getting a few little pullovers on my left one here. So I think we'll give him a check. The bites have picked up a bit now. My dad just had another small bream after that double shot. And now I've had a bite, so fingers crossed we'll get a few fish before we're out of here. I've got my other line as well, have I? What have I got? Oh man, I've got a bream and my other line. Oh no. Feels like something's pulling back on that. What was that? Let's get on that. Oh, it is as well. That is a fish. Sorry, bream, you're gonna have to wait there. You've got more fish to reel in, look. He's there. He's there. That's a fish. Beautiful. Look at that, guys. Don't you love it when both your rods go at the same time, look? Both of them on blow lug. Bring it a bit closer for you to see. Don't want them rigs to tangle. fish are up there now, guys. The fish are up there now. Look at that. And both the rods go at the same time. Both on the blow lug and on the pop-up rigs. How's about that? Busy bream fishing at Chesil Beach. Let's go. Well, after that little flurry of fish come through then, we were just chatting because it just shows sometimes it's worth trying different distances, because when we first got down here, all the fish were literally like between 30 to 50 yards out, that sort of distance. And pretty much, well, most of the bites were coming on mackerel and a few on rag. And they went quiet through the middle of the day. And then now it's a distance and most of the bites are coming on blow lug. We didn't have a single fish on blow lug first thing, but now we're getting most of the bites on it. I mean, there was one day I was standing before and it was low, high water about midday. I think my dad's in again. But high water was at, yeah, I think it was high water was at midday, and all the flood. If you didn't have mackerel out there, you wouldn't catch anything. I was having loads of gurnards and bream, and then the tide turned, and then it was all on the ragworm. It was literally like night and day. So it just goes to show sometimes it's always worth. I mean, because like for us, it's like a 2.5 hour drive, so it's a fair trip. So it's always worth being prepared for different stuff to make sure, obviously, you're not out of the action at any point. Especially if some locals turn up and start hammering the fish on something you haven't got. I mean, there's two guys just down the beach from us, but from what we've seen, like our tents are facing theirs, and we haven't really seen them catch much today, to be honest. They're only fishing one rod each for some reason. I get it's a chill session with one rod, but that'd break my brain. I couldn't fish with one rod. It's part of the reason I don't match fish. Well, there's two main reasons why, well, probably three actually, main reason why I don't match fish anymore. I hate fishing one rod. I overthink stuff and stress myself out. And I hate fishing in crowds. As you probably noticed from my videos, I've never really been in crowds. The other morning I went to go down to the Nap because it was fishing quite well. When I got back from holiday, I thought, get down there nice and early. High water was like 10, half 10. So I got down there 6 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, pulled up in the car park, and there was 4 guys getting the gear out of the car. Looked over the bank and there was like 7, 8 people down there already. I just looked at that and I was like, no thank you. I was out of there. I was gone, straight home. And it was like a 15, well, just over 15 metre tide. So there's not really many places to fish. And the fishing was good that weekend, so I think everywhere was busy. I'd rather not fish. And being self-employed, having time off in the week is quite easy because I can work the weekend and have a day off in the week. So I tend to do that. Like today's a Tuesday, my dad's day off. So it's always easier for me. I prefer fishing on the weekdays anyway because the beaches are quiet. But that wind's picking up now up there. We'll probably give it another, I don't know, hour or so and probably make a think of packing up. I'm going to cook some food now. I'm going to get this rig hung on the stand and get the cooker on and get some sausages and bacon on the go. Well, after that little flurry of fish come through then, we were just chatting because it just shows sometimes it's worth trying different distances, because when we first got down here, all the fish were literally like between 30 to 50 yards out, that sort of distance. And pretty much, well, most of the bites were coming on mackerel and a few on rag. And they went quiet through the middle of the day. And then now it's a distance and most of the bites are coming on blow lug. We didn't have a single fish on blow lug first thing, but now we're getting most of the bites on it. I mean, there was one day I was standing before and it was low, but high water about midday. I think my dad's in again. But high water was at, yeah, I think it was high water was at midday, and all the flood. If you didn't have mackerel out there, you wouldn't catch anything. I was having loads of gurnards and bream, and then the tide turned, and then it was all on the ragworm. It was literally like night and day. So it just goes to show sometimes it's always worth. I mean, because like for us, it's like a 2.5 hour drive, so it's a fair trip. So it's always worth being prepared for different stuff, just to make sure, obviously, you're not out of the action at any point. Especially if some locals turn up and start hammering the fish on something you haven't got. I mean, there's 2 guys just down the beach from us, but from what we've seen, like our tents are facing theirs, and we haven't really seen them catch much today, to be honest. They're only fishing 1 rod each for some reason. I get it's a chill session with 1 rod, but that'd break my brain. I couldn't fish with 1 rod. It's part of the reason I don't match fish. Well, there's 2 main reasons why, well, probably 3 actually, main reason why I don't match fish anymore. I hate fishing 1 rod. I overthink stuff and stress myself out. And I hate fishing in crowds. As you probably noticed from my videos, I've never really been in crowds. The other morning I went to go down to the Nap because it was fishing quite well. When I got back from holiday, I thought, get down there nice and early. High water was like 10, half 10. So I got down there 6 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, pulled up in the car park, and there was 4 guys getting the gear out of the car. Looked over the bank, and there was like 7, 8 people down there already. I just looked at that and I was like, no thank you. I was out of there, I was gone, straight home. And it was like a 15, well, just over 15 metre tide. So there's not really many places to fish. And the fishing was good that weekend, so I think everywhere was busy. I'd rather not fish. And being self-employed, having time off in a week is quite easy because I can work the weekend and have a day off in a week. So I tend to do that. Like today's a Tuesday, my dad's day off. So it's always easier for me. I prefer fishing on the weekdays anyway because the beaches are quiet. But that wind's picking up now out there. I'll probably give it another, I don't know, hour or so and probably make a think of packing up. I'm going to cook some food now. I'm going to get this rig hung on the stand and get the cooker on and get some sausages and bacon on the go. Getting a few decent bites now. I clipped my 3rd rod way up the right there, so it's out the way of my other 2. And I had a bite on the fish straight away. Can you see the bite, look? Can you see the bite? Tell me when it goes. Oh, there's it go. There it goes. We got him. We got him. And another bream. Another bream. Another bream here at Chesil Beach, guys. Another beauty. On the blow lug again. That's every fish comes to the blow lug now. I should have left that bite really because I got a bit of blow lug on each hook. Should have left a little bit longer, but you get all excited. Happy days. Let's get some more. Get that rig straight back out there. Well, there's my next bait ready to go. Got blow lug on the top, rag and the mackerel on the middle hook, and blow lug on the bottom. I got to be quick because my other rod's going quite well, and my dad's got a fish on as well. It's going off, guys. The bream are on the feed. Let's get out there nice and quick. The fish are a bit further out as well now, so let's concentrate. Don't want to mess up the cast. That'll do perfect. Oh, my dad's got a tiny pouting. That's no good. There we go, look, finally found some time in amongst the bream to have some food. Got some sausage and bacon on the go. Not a bad view though. Check it. Stunning day. Stunning views. Stunning fishing. And it's ending on some nice food, look. Look at the crisp on the bacon. Beautiful. Right, so I had an absolute cracking bite. The rod absolutely keeled over. And feels like I've hooked it, but it doesn't feel very big. It's probably going to start going a bit now, I thought. What have we got? Oh, a lovely black bream. That's a cracker. That's the biggest one I've had. Check that for a bream. That was a monster. I was probably close in as well. Maybe about 40 yards out, 30 yards maybe. About a pound mark. It's a big one for me today. Happy days on the ragworm there, look, on the pop-up. Sweet. Get more bites on the right hand rod. So our last cast now, so got to make this one count. I'll reel these rods in now and start packing up. And another bream. Well, I think we'll call it there, guys. No doubt I'll probably get end up having more than my other ones, that's slack. But for now, if I have anything worth showing you, I'll bring you back. But I've got to pack up and get home at some point, because it is now getting quite late. Well, it's 4:30, it's not too late, but obviously let me get back to the car and everything. 2.5 hour drive home. Probably too late and obviously work tomorrow. But anyway, whoa, been a great session. I had loads of bream. My dad had that nice trigger and gurner this morning. Now those 2 squid. It's been a pleasure once again from me and the bream. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Well guys, I've been trying to pack away and I looked at the squid jigs on the floor and I thought I'll have another couple casts, and I've had 2 casts and I got another squid. Now that is how I like to end the day. A squiddy. Look at the colour changes on him. Tilt that camera a bit, you can see me better. Look at that. Another squiddy. Wicked, the size on his eye. Look at that. Squirting out. Well, there we are, look. I think that's a better way to end the video than another Chesil bream. That was about that to end it on. A nice chunky Chesil squid. Oh, I'm gonna have a couple more casts. Whoa, you made me jump in. I'm gonna have a couple more casts, but I'll leave this as the end. So I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.